The Langeni Pass is the newest major tar pass in South Africa with a 2008 construction date. The pass descends an impressive 751 meters down the escarpment through the Langeni forest. It has an average gradient of 1 in 22, but most of the southern portion is fairly steep at 1 in 10. Modern engineering is evident throughout this pass, of which probably the most impressive feature is the 235-meter-long viaduct over a section of the indigenous forest, which is built at the same gradient as the road, which is very steep. The road connects Yugi in the north with Mthatha in the southeast. The road is wide, safe and beautifully engineered, but note the many bus stop shelters, mainly used by the minibus taxis, and expect buses and taxis to bleed into the traffic at any time with disregard for your speed. The Nkambu Plateau is a wide plateau with a fairly gentle slope, which is the feeder route to the summit of the Langeni Pass. As this section consists of a constant climb through perfectly banked and sweeping curves, we've included it as part of the Langeni Pass, as the two sections of roadway are intrinsically linked and inseparable. Prior to 2004, the route down the mountain was nothing more than a cattle path. Over the years, a thriving timber industry and sawmill, commonly known as the Langeni sawmill, which lies at the foot of the pass and produces large quantities of commercial lumber, dictated a better quality road for the area was needed and a more direct link between Yugi and Mthatha. A massive project was undertaken to build and tar the 55-kilometer-long road, of which the Langeni Pass itself would become the most important consideration, especially due to the sensitive ecology of the area. Work on the road commenced in 2004 and was completed in 2008 when it was opened to the public for the first time. The main economic driver for the construction of the road was forestry. There were forests around Yugi that were ready for harvesting, but the sawmill was far down below the mountain. On the existing roads it was more than a 200-kilometer detour, but with a new road it was only 50 kilometers. In the meantime, a new chipboard factory opened in Yugi, and in an ironic twist of fate, the factory at Langeni closed down. Now the logs are being hauled up the mountain via the new pass to Yugi. Heavy haulage equates to slow speeds, so the engineers built the road to allow for an overtaking lane for most of the ascending sections. At the 5.3 kilometer mark, there's a tarred road leading off to the left towards the northeast. This is a worthwhile detour, which is only 700 meters long and leads to a spectacular view site down the escarpment into the valley. From here you can see the unique Finger Pinnacle rock formation. Once you've cleared the second U-shaped bend, the direction is once again into the southeast, as the gradient again levels right off as the road works its way gently towards the true summit, which occurs at the 6.4 kilometer mark. Just after the summit, at the 7.6 kilometer mark, there's a slip road on the left, which serves both as a rest stop and as a holding point for heavy trucks. Once past this rest stop, the road sweeps through a big left-hand curve. As the road straightens out after the curve, there's a turn-off to the right. This is a minor tar road which leads to the main view site over the eastern side of the pass, and it's recommended to spend the 15 minutes to access the view site. The access road is 1.7 kilometers long, and once you've driven as far as you can, park your car and take a walk a few meters down the slope towards the right until you can see the elevated viaduct. The views are incredible from this vantage point and cover a vista of almost 300 degrees. The area is rich in mammal and bird life, and it's common to spot the Naisnaluri, ground hornbill, Cape parrot, several small antelope types, and of course no mountain pass would be complete without the ubiquitous chacma baboons and their smaller cousins, the Cape vervet monkey. Most of the indigenous forests belong to the Hans Mareski group, but the forests are of course protected. Be sure to watch part 2 of this series on the Langeni Pass, which deals with the spectacular and very steep eastern descent.